Now, there are only three ways that this stops. So I've heard other people predicting this will be over in 6 weeks, or this will burn out in the summer, or it's already over. Some people say it's already burned through the population and we just didn't notice it. I think this is very real, and it can only be stopped in three ways. And those ways are as follows. Number one, you can isolate people. So quarantines, canceling public meetings, stopping all domestic air travel, quarantines of cities, roadblocks. All these things actually do work to isolate infections. That's why Italy's been running roadblocks, and that's why China welded people shut in their apartments. And I'm not saying that we should do that here. Just from an epidemiological point of view, I'm pointing out the three ways that you stop this. It's up to us as a society to decide which of these ways we wish to invoke. Some of them are quite draconian. Some of them violate human rights, as we've seen in China. I mean, in China, one of the methods they used was just to execute people who were infected. Now, does that work to stop the spread? Yeah, sure it does. But does it violate human rights? Of course. Method one is isolation. However you want to play that out, isolation does work. If you stop people from getting together and sharing the virus through aerosolized particles or touching each other or what have you. The second way to stop this. So first way was isolation. Second way is antivirals. So if you can stop the virus from replicating in the human body, and if you can get those antivirals out on a widespread basis, and this is something that Dr. Jack told us during an interview on the show last week. James Lyons Weiler is his name. He said if you can get antivirals out to the population, then you will really suppress the replication and spread of the virus. Those antivirals can be nutraceuticals, which I'll cover in the next segment, a complete list. Well, it's a growing list, but it's a good list already of things that may be strong candidates for stopping viral replication in your body, but also antiviral pharmaceuticals are candidates for this as well. And there are already antiretroviral drugs that are being used for things like HIV infections and some for Ebola in the past as well. So there may be candidates from the world of big pharma that could be used, but it might be a very long time before those are known. Whereas the nutraceuticals, the herbs, and the minerals are very well known right now to deal with other types of viruses that are in the same family, actually. So that's something that should be considered. In my opinion, President Trump should have a national press conference, and he should tell everybody, take vitamin D, eat turmeric, eat licorice root, just get healthier, eat these herbs and minerals and superfoods, and he can give a list. And that would really help big time. That would stop a lot of people from spreading the infection right now. So that's the second way. The third way that this stops is if it burns through the population, sweeps through all the people, everybody gets infected, and then you end up with two groups on the other side. People who are one, immune, or two, dead. So that's it. You let it sweep through the population. I'm not saying that you should do this. I'm just saying theoretically this is one way to end it.
Hi, this is PG. Today's date is March 5th, 2020. These are just some short clips on dealing with the coronavirus. And Mike has some great ideas, and so I just thought I'd play some of them.
I've got a lot for you. I'm going to be covering lists of sanitizers that you can use that may be very useful for killing viruses on surfaces. So if you want to know what to stock up on or even how to make your own hand sanitizer, I'll be covering that for you here. There's new science on nutraceuticals that hold very good promise for possibly halting coronavirus replication in your body. That's been covered in a journal, Progress in Cardiovascular Disease. And we'll go through the list there, a lot of different minerals and herbs and nutraceuticals that are widely available. Some of them may be available at the INFOWARS store. I haven't checked yet, but we're going to cover that list.
It's on Isaiah 58 Ministries. If you want to follow along, I have a lot of these links in the description. I didn't write up a description, but I did share a lot of links. It's called Firefighters Technology. Looking Beyond Vaccines. That Looking Beyond Vaccines is, I took that from Mike Adams. And the coronavirus. Not really like a huge word from the Lord. This is just to cover all the different ways people are dealing with the coronavirus and all the different thoughts on the subject. So you can look that up on Isaiah 58 Ministries.blogspot.com. And I have the times that I felt were most interesting from Mike. So let's go to 25 minutes here. Most of these are opinions, and you can't take any of them as the gospel or the truth because there's so many differing opinions. And so you're going to have to think for yourself and what's you think is going to be right for you.
Quarantining cities and blocking highways and things like that. Otherwise, this thing gets to 1 million in less than 2 months, or around 2 months, you could say. So that's why I believe that those kinds of stoppages are coming. They have to shut down elements of society in order to stop this from spreading. So let's get right to hand sanitizers here. Let's make a list. Here are some things that I believe show very high capability of killing viruses on surfaces. Now we know that even Lysol, you can go to the store and buy Lysol. Lysol kills all kinds of viruses. It's not hype, it does, it works. Bleach kills all kinds of viruses, but you don't even need full strength bleach. Sodium hypochlorite, you can combine. You could do 1% bleach with 20% isopropyl alcohol and then 79% water. That right there is your own hand sanitizer. And that kills most viruses. Does it kill coronavirus? Probably, although we haven't proven it yet, but it probably does. Here are some things to be stocking up on right now. I made a little list here. Isopropyl alcohol, and we just call it IPA in the lab. Povidone iodine, which is for topical use. It's like surgical prep iodine, basically kills everything on your skin or on surfaces. Ammonium chloride is a known antiviral chemical. It's somewhat caustic or toxic, but it's used by the military to decontaminate soldiers if they've gone through biological weapons areas. Then sodium hypochlorite, which is bleach. Usually you would dilute this quite a lot so that it's a very small percentage of sodium hypochlorite in the solution. Chlorine dioxide, it's possible that that could work on surfaces. Again, the testing hasn't been done yet, but that kills through oxidation, not that viruses are alive, but it probably denatures viral protein fragments as well as killing other bacteria that may carry the virus, potentially. Hydrogen peroxide is another one that you can acquire right now. You can go to a grocery store or pharmacy and you can purchase 3% hydrogen peroxide. There's some places online you can purchase up to 35%, which is very strong. That'll burn your skin, by the way, so be cautious with this. What I demonstrated on the show the other day in studio there was putting a 3% hydrogen peroxide solution in a essential oil nebulizer, adding a few drops of iodine, and then inhaling some of that vapor as it comes out of the diffuser. And I've been doing that in the days since, and it's been working very, very well. Now, when we get to herbs, there's a new study that has just come out. I covered it this morning. It's published in Progress in Cardiovascular Disease, and it covers a number of nutraceuticals. It mentions spirulina as one that Alex was talking about yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was yesterday on the show. He had a dream about spirulina. It helps to boost the body's type 1 interferon response to viral infections. But that study also mentions these other things that I'll mention here. N-acetylcysteine, or what's called NAC. That's a common dietary supplement that you can find everywhere, basically. Ferulic acid, or sodium ferulate. This may activate the TLR7 pathway to stimulate what's called type 1 interferon production. Lipoic acid may hold promise here. You can get that in the form of ALA or alpha lipoic acid. And by the way, just as a disclaimer, none of these are proven. These are candidates that deserve research, and this is a science paper that I'm quoting from that's already been published. Sulforaphane, which is one of the best molecules from cruciferous vegetables. You can go out and buy broccoli seeds, and you can make your own broccoli sprouts. And those sprouts are very high in sulforaphane. So what I've done over the years is I'll get radish sprouts and broccoli sprouts and things, sprout a little bit in a little jar, just like a canning jar, and then you can take those sprouts and drop them in your smoothie. And you grind them up, you know, and of course they taste pretty wicked, but they've got molecules in them that are amazing and also have anti-cancer properties as well, not just antiviral properties. Selenium is a mineral that is part of this process. It helps your body block the replication process of viruses. Maybe not coronavirus, we don't know yet, but certainly many other viruses. A lot of research about selenium. Glucosamine in certain high doses may have inhibitory effects, according to this science paper. Beta-glucans from yeast, but also various medicinal mushrooms contain beta-glucans, which are widely known for anti-cancer potential as well. So beta-glucans is something to look at. Zinc is, zinc helps your skin repair itself after injuries. Zinc is very important for immune function and blocking infections of common influenza, for example. There's a tremendous amount of research about zinc blocking influenza. And then finally, there's elderberry, and we've talked about that on the show here over the past few days. Elderberry extracts, they're kind of sold out everywhere at the moment. But
now on this list, we do, the Lord led me to do more zinc, and but we do the turmeric and a lot of these items ourselves, and we also do the elderberry. But you have to do what you feel comfortable with and what's best for you. All of us have different tolerances and different things that we absorb differently. And so you got to go with what you are comfortable with. Sometimes you just have to experiment and try different things too.
But they're very, very effective at blocking viral replication in your body. So if you can get some elderberry extract, it's delicious. I've used it for many, many years. It's purple, like a dark purple color. I would definitely have elderberry. And then not mentioned in this study, though, was high-dose vitamin C. We had a guest on last week who was an orthomolecular physician talking about the clinical use of high-dose vitamin C, which is where you go into a clinic with an IV in your arm, and they'll put something like 50 grams of vitamin C into your bloodstream, more than you could take orally without causing some kind of digestive distress. So 50 grams, boom, it just kills all kinds of pathogens all throughout your system. Now that's something, obviously, you need a qualified naturopathic physician. That's not a do-it-yourself type of thing. Oh, jabbing yourself in the arm with a needle, that's not a great way to beat the virus. Make sure you get qualified medical assistance. You go to a clinic, the people are trained, they know what they're doing. Just do all this safely.
This blog is going to be a lot about the technology. I found some great articles on technology, but this is really important for people to get out because this is what's like number one on people's minds. This is actually at the bottom of the blog, but I thought I'm going to get this out first. People can hopefully feel peace at the end of this. Now, of course, Mike's going to come up to my favorite subject here. Let's let him continue and finish out here a minute.
So that's the takeaway from this segment here. I've got more news on the other side, but bottom line is, why isn't Trump out there saying people could do these things right now instead of just waiting for a vaccine? I don't want to wait 18 months for a vaccine. I'm not going to take that vaccine anyway. It might be deadlier than the virus. But all these other things I mentioned, you can find them now. They're safe, affordable, effective, and they might work. They might save lives. Very likely, they will do that. We don't know for sure, but a very high probability. So much more on the other side. We're going to break, but this is Mike Adams here, naturalnews.com, with InfoWars and the Alex Jones Show. We'll be back after this break. In that last segment, I totally forgot to mention colloidal silver. So I want to show you this. This right here, this is a piece of pure silver. It's a silver rod, and I've put an electrical connector on the end here. I had these custom made. They're 4 millimeters in diameter, pure silver, 99.99+%. And this is how industrial level colloidal silver is made. You can attach your electrical connectors right here. This is the size of a banana plug of like a low voltage DC power supply. And you can find a lot of recipes online if you want to try to make it yourself. It's not bad to do that. But it's also good to have it professionally made and filtered and quality controlled, as InfoWars Store offers. I just want to mention that colloidal silver has a lot of potential uses, especially for surface sanitation. You can also get colloidal silver. You can gargle with it. You can add it to a nasal irrigator. So some people like to have it's a soft syringe. You put salt in some warm water and you kind of squirt through your nasal passages. And I've even done that in times when I've had sort of sinus infections in the past. It works really well. You can mix colloidal silver with that. So you're not actually swallowing it. It's just coming out of your other nasal passage, by the way. It's good to do that in a shower. Otherwise, it makes kind of a mess. but you can irrigate your nasal passages, you can gargle with it, and I suppose in an emergency, you could swallow it under the direction of a naturopath if you thought that's the best option for you. You know, consider all the options. I don't think that you should drink colloidal silver on a daily basis like a supplement. You don't need silver like a mineral. You don't need it like magnesium or selenium. But in an emergency, would I consider consuming it orally? Absolutely. In fact, I've got gallons of it sitting around for that very purpose, just in case it's needed. And besides, the vaccines aren't going to be around for a long time, maybe a year and a half, and who knows if Big Pharma's drugs are ever going to work, or if you're going to have any supply, or if the vaccine might kill you. Who knows? So why not have all the options available to you? And silver is great, because with silver, you have something that can help sanitize surfaces as well as theoretically be used internally in an emergency under medical direction. The other thing I like is, if you go back to this silver rod here that I'm showing on camera, you can also, what I like to do as a prepper is I buy precious metals. So this is pure silver that can be melted down and traded as silver. So if you buy silver rods, and if you study up and you know how to make some of this yourself in an emergency, it's a dual use mineral. You could trade it in barter, or you could use it to make more colloidal silver. So it's really awesome that nature has provided this just fabulous element that can be used for medicine. It can be used for money. It can be used as an antibacterial treatment for surfaces in hospitals. It's amazing. And this is on the table of elements. This was created by God. You know, this is part of the physics of the universe, just like gold and just like copper, which is also antibacterial, by the way. Copper is. Gold isn't. Gold is very, very neutral. But this is provided by nature. So definitely check that out. If I were you, I would load up on some commercial colloidal silver, but I would also learn how to make it in an emergency yourself. You can just get silver wire. In fact, I'm going to be filming a video soon that just kind of shows how to make your own hand sanitizer. Like I said earlier, I'm going to show you a video.
Okay, we can finish up there.
So
of course, I had to bring up that when God asks us to do something like use silver and gold, even copper pennies, it's for our own good. Even copper, he said, is medicinal. And so you're always touching it, you're always feeling it. It's really good for you, the silver and the copper. God heals the body from any kind of genetics. Okay, God heals. The closer you are to God, the healthier you are. And so godliness profits everything. It profits society. And people are happier and they're healthier mentally, emotionally, in every way. And so we're not going to die off. We know God is right now is bringing a great move where he's healing minds, he's healing souls. He's bringing people to him so that his love, what heals us is God's love, the power of his love. Time in meditation with God, you just know he loves you, and it's his gospel, his power that heals us and strengthens us internally. And when people are strong internally, society will be strong. And society will be great, because society will be good. PG, signing off.
It's cold, all alone. No place for